Hello and welcome, Conestoga students, educators, and...
Hello and welcome, Conestoga students, educators, and community
Hello
members.
and welcome, Conestoga students.
Hello, Conestoga, and welcome to yet another episode of Cougar Tales.
With a school in the middle of a deserted cornfield known as Conestoga.
Welcome to yet another episode of Conestoga Cougar Tales.
Hello and welcome to the end of the year Cougar Tales. In this episode, our journalists will be running through this year's activities, doing a quick recap of the school year, and exploring some bucket list ideas for this upcoming summer.
As the end of school is quickly coming, we can all look back on some of the highlights from the activities we have here at Conestoga. From August to May, all activities have something to be proud of.
In football, the team battled through a tough season. They started this year off with a new coach as well. Mr. Clausen did an awesome job leading the team and making them stronger, physically and mentally. Mr. Brokaw, Mr. Teese, and Mr. Harkness assisted the team this season, adding to their leadership. Although the season record was not in our favor, the Cougars gave their best effort and never let us lose our Cougar pride.
Softball scored a total of 63 points. They started off the season with a new head coach, Ms. Boyer, and a new assistant coach, Mr. Steckler, who coached at Conestoga years ago. The team started off with 10 girls and lost one due to injury. Despite these setbacks, they were determined to complete their season.
Marching band, led by Mrs. Vallows, competed at a few competitions this year. They earned an excellent rating at each of those competitions. The marching band also performed at almost every home event this year, and they even performed at halftime at one of the football games.
The high school choir made great strides this year. They put on many concerts full of diverse songs, never failing to blow away the audiences. They also attended the DMC competition, further sharing their talents. One act found success this year with their play Antigone Now. Led by Mrs. Lichtenmeyer and Mrs. Zahn, they earned third place at both conference and districts. Jessica Williams, Alex Lamore, Lily Drannon, Orrin Bush, and Jacob Drake all earned individual awards at competitions.
For the first time in many years, Conestoga had a cross-country team. While there were only 9 members on the team, they proved to be extremely successful in competition. Mr. Trampy and Mr. Burge coached the team to all of their success that they found. The highlight of the season was at state, where Conestoga sent 7 state qualifiers. These included Jasmine Rainey, Jessica Poyer, Bridget Wagner, Lachlan Swim, Danny Perriott, Bella Hogue, and Dawson Hardesty. The team is looking forward to recruiting more runners for next year.
Wrestling found major success in their season. Mr. Trampy, Troy Ruffner, Rob Everett, and Bobby Hogue coached the Cougar wrestlers to 14 dual wins and sent 4 wrestlers to Class B state tournament. That includes Dawson Hardesty, Cesar Sandoval, Owen Snipes, and Hunter Thonin. Though only 4 names are listed, every single wrestler made it to the second day of the district tournament. The team will move back down to Class C next year.
Boys basketball had a record-breaking season. They scored a total of 1,263 points. Coaching the Cougars this year was Mr. Aarons, Mr. Connor, and Mr. Swantek. The team even got on the state record board for being 21st all-time in 3 points in a season. Congrats, Cougars.
The speech team experienced one of the longest seasons of the whole year. They competed in many different tournaments with the help of Mrs. Schlichtemeyer and Miss Freeman. The trendsetters sent Jessica Williams and Jacob Drake to the state tournament, and Jess, Jacob, Jasmine Rainey, and Orrin Bush to the national tournament.
Girls basketball welcomed a new coach, Mr. Teese, to their program. Mr. Teese, along with Mrs. Hoynes and Miss Gray, led the Cougars to some victories while building up the program. The Cougars played hard every game and worked through some tough games with limited players.
Boys soccer, led by Coach Welch, Mr. Brokaw, and Mr. Connor, won 3 games. One of them against Clarinda. They won 15-0, which is very impressive, especially since Conestoga soccer plays Class B schools. Keep it up, boys.
Coach Scott Robertson, a first-time coach at Conestoga, gave girls soccer a competitive edge this season. He coached the Cougars with Miss Mandeville and Zach Johnson. The girls broke the school record for the most consecutive wins in a season and set multiple defensive records. The girls were the first girls soccer team from Conestoga to be seeded first at districts.
Girls and boys track and field competed from February to the end of May. They had major successes and a couple school records during their season. The Cougars sent Danny Perriott, Morgan McAndrew, and Bella Hogue to the state meet at Burke High School. Mr. Berkmeyer, Mr. Trampy, Mrs. Stewart, Mrs. Michael, and Mrs. McClatchy led the team to all of their successes on the track and in the field. In the state competition located at Omaha Burke, Track and field had some amazing successes. Morgan McAndrew, Danny Peria, and Bella Hogue all competed very well. All three placed in the top 15 of Class B, and along with that, Bella placed 8th in the 100-meter dash, 5th in the 200, and was the Class B state champion in the 400-meter dash.
This year's cheer team was very successful at getting the school spirit up and encouraging our athletes. This summer, the cheer team attended a camp with Peru where they began stunting for the first time ever. The cheerleaders then used their new tricks to attend state and blow the crowd away. From pep rallies to competitions, the cheerleaders never failed to impress. This year, the Cougar dance team, led by Angie Hogue, achieved many amazing accomplishments. This past summer, they attended a UDA camp in Omaha where they learned dances and team building skills. At the camp, they won the 110% award, along with many blue ribbons, the highest you can get. Maddie Hazlip, Kenna Jensen, Ellie Sachs, and Bella Hogue also became All-Americans. Later that winter, they also attended the UNO competition and got first with their hip-hop dance. All of this led up to the state competition, where they took home second in hip-hop and became two-time state champs in pom. As we approach the end of the 2018-2019 school year, we can now look back at the amazing year we have had and the eventful accomplishments that have occurred. From countless state qualifiers to fun-filled spirit weeks, Conestoga never fails to bring excitement to our school. To help highlight these memories, we have our interviewer, Hunter Thonen, getting the opinions of the students and staff and allowing them to share a few of their favorite memories.
My favorite memory from this year is my soccer season.
My favorite part of the year was guitar class. The best part of my year was going to state cheer.
My favorite memory.
The most memorable moment of this year.
My favorite memory of this school year was going to the state wrestling tournament.
My teammates were amazing. It was like a family, and we made a lot of accomplishments and broke a lot of records that old teams did not. And I just am really proud of all the things that we did this year.
I learned a lot. I made a lot of new friends, and it was a really good time.
You meet a lot of new people, and it was really fun, and competing in front of a large crowd was a really good experience.
So my favorite memory of the school year is probably the Malcolm volleyball game. It was super intense and the team just really worked together.
It's a thing that we did.
I think it went pretty good. It went really fast. I really remember, it seems like yesterday when we were putting in grades for the end of third quarter. So kind of when that nice weather hits, the kids feel like they don't want to be in school anymore, and it goes pretty fast. But overall, we're pretty good.
I think fourth quarter has been super fast, and it's been super busy, not only for the teachers but for the students. It feels like every day there has been something new and adventurous going on at school.
I think the fourth quarter went pretty well for the most part. I have a lot of seniors, and the fourth quarter of your senior year is kind of crazy, so most people have their minds on other things, and they're thinking about graduation, and they're partying, and where they're going, and all this good stuff, and getting out of here. So fourth quarter usually goes by pretty quick for me because I have mostly seniors.
Nationals, going to nationals. It was fun. Kids did great.
Finally, it's stopping snowing. That was nice for fourth quarter. Otherwise, I don't have really anything specific fourth quarter, but just as a whole in the year, just kind of getting to know most of the kids, the staff, and kind of all the activities go along with the school. It's kind of cool to be a part of.
I got to attend state FFA with Mr. Burge and the FFA participants, and that was a lot of fun. Seeing them participate in all their activities and go to the awards and see them get their green hands and all their awards.
My favorite highlight of this past year probably would involve financial math and watching the seniors learn a lot. Watching them realize that they are only a year away from the real world and having to pay their own bills. They get a little grip on reality on how hard life is going to be after high school. They think high school is tough. It gets much more difficult, I assure you.
Being able to relax.
Well, I teach mostly freshmen and sophomores, so going into next year, seeing how the freshmen kind of mature, hopefully, grow up a little bit, and then yeah, just kind of seeing what come back, see how kids have changed or if they're the same, and just kind of rolling into year two.
So this summer, I'm hoping, my goal is to have the library open on Wednesday mornings from 8:30 to 10:30, so students can come to school and check out books without having to go to Plattsmouth or Nebraska City. If they don't have a library card, they can come up here and check out books. So I'm really excited about starting something new.
The biggest thing I am looking forward to now would be spending some time with my kids and my wife in the summer. Get to have 5 kids at home, and when you have 5 kids at home and the oldest one is 11 or 12 years old, you have to spend 8 hours a day with them. It gets a little challenging at times. So they like to kind of mess around, and you know, there's not exactly the structure and the order in the class that I kind of like in the classroom. So, but I look forward to spending some time with family and going on vacation.
Now I must take time to congratulate the amazing seniors who have left the Cougar Nest and are preparing for a new, exciting life. The class of 2019 has been very successful throughout their 4 years of high school, achieving many astonishing things. This class brought state championships, national qualifications, broken records, leadership opportunities, new clubs, and an everlasting legacy from all of the students. They will be greatly missed, but we cannot wait to see where life takes them all. Congrats and good luck, graduates. The Conestoga staff is a valid, cherishable part of what makes up our school. They help us grow during the time spent here and prepare us for our lives after. This year, we're losing some incredible staff members who are beginning new chapters in their lives. They include Mr. Colgrove, Mrs. Husky, Mrs. Poston, Mr. Burge, and our beloved Mr. Friedley. We hate to see you go, but we're happy for the time we got to spend with you. Thank you for all of your amazing years, and never forget, once a Cougar, always a Cougar.
When I met you in the summer.
Summer is approaching and can be a busy time for most people. However, for some it can be hard to find things to do that assure that you stay busy throughout the season. Making a bucket list can be a good way to make sure you have a good and adventurous summer. Here are 10 things you can maybe add to your list. Make tie-dye shirts, go kayaking, go to the zoo, visit a farmer's market, go mini golfing, have a water/water gun fight, make homemade ice cream, start a homemade basketball tournament and get people to join, make cookies for a neighbor, and read at least 10 books. Doing these things or making your own bucket list can ensure that you have an adventurous summer.